you had a neurodegenerative disease and all of your specialists told you there was no hope, what would you do? In the article, Stem Cell Treatments in China, Rethinking the Patient Role in a Global Bioeconomy from the Bioethics Journal, we find patient A is diagnosed with no hope. Stem cell treatment was her only option. However, where she lived in England, stem cell treatments won't be available for many years. Patient A and her daughter researched several places, and then they found and decided to go to Beike Biotech Research Facility in China. So now that we have some of our main points, let's start looking at the actual details. Beike Biotech, established in 2005, has supposedly treated over 5,000 patients. There are many unknown factors about stem cell research, which begs the question, why are patients willing to risk everything in order to have this small chance? Many people like Hayden Chin and Herbert Gottweiss are concerned that this new stem cell tourism is not all it's cracked up to be. The regulation on stem cell research in America is too strict, but in China it isn't strict enough. Hayden and Gottweiss conducted empirical research using previous and current patients of biotech, contacting them through any means possible, such as email or Facebook, to find out why patients from other countries went to China in order to receive treatments after knowing all of the threats. From 2007 to 2010, Herbert and Gottweiss conducted their empirical research. They used many different forms to gain information. One type involved ethnographic observations at scientific meetings, policy-making workshops, and at Beike itself. The data was derived from participant observation, document analysis, various forms of informal interactions, 13 email interviews, and 14 face-to-face interviews, including clinicians, patients, and their staff. Herbert and Gottweiss also conversed with patients outside of Beike, which was where they were testing. Stem Cell Safety, a young health group, aided in reaching these patients, as well as blogs found on Stem Cells China webpage. As another form of gaining information, patients from Beike also shared their individual stories. Patient B had a blog set up to tell everybody about her stem cell research progress. On May 24th, 2007, she stated, "My eyes are continuing to improve. It is so wonderful to have almost normal eyesight." On June 9th of 2007, she said, "After the 5th injection, I still feel wonderful. I have no double vision. It is amazing to me." Many of the patients acknowledge the risk that they are taking in order to have this small hope. Mrs. G, the mother of a 3-year-old patient at Beike, states, "Like any parent, you want to do the best that you possibly can for your child, even if that means going offshore and trying something experimental." The wife of a patient who is paralyzed from the waist down from a car accident stated, "It is worthwhile trying the stem cell treatments, though they have risks. If we don't try, he will never improve." Herbert and Gottweiss discussed the problem that hope brings to patients while practicing stem cell tourism. As there were no credible options, they were ready to accept those risks weighed against the possible benefits, regardless of the warnings. They also state that the lack of credible options is what drives patients to seek treatments in the global arena, rather than being hindered by the ethical and regulatory constraints applicable in their home countries. While hope may cause these patients to crash and burn, it seems that many of them are having great success with the stem cell research at Beike. In conclusion, we can see that without China enforcing the recent guidelines on stem cell research, human testing is still highly risky. But these patients are willing to ignore all of the unfavorable outcomes for a chance of any positive outcomes. Mrs. G is willing to take her 3-year-old daughter to a foreign country for a clinical trial. The wife of the paralyzed man and the man himself were both willing to take those risks for that small chance of hope. Using empirical research, Herbert and Gottweiss got inside the minds of patients and their families. This also allowed them to see why people are willing to go to another country to receive an experimental treatment. Think about it. What would you do?
Well, that was it? I thought you had to go 5 minutes.